Let's see. Here we go. Welcome. Burr's here today. This is so exciting. And she looks human and alive. For those of you not following along, she has been suffering with the flu. And I've heard that this year's flu is a nightmare, like for more than one person. Like you're not the only one.
It kicked my ass, and I feel like this is like the 9th day for me, and this is the first day where I'm gonna try to go back to the gym. It's the first day where I actually feel like a normal human being a little bit, but man, it's brutal. If you can avoid getting this, you should at all costs. It's terrible.
Yeah, this is what I'm hearing. Yeah, like Yes to Crypto just said my mom's been sick for 10 days. My mom got something similar, was sick for a couple of weeks. Like it's rough. I don't think she had the same exact thing you did, but there's a couple things going around and it's bad. So stay safe out there. Stay healthy. We are excited. We've got an amazing show today. We're going to start with some news. We've got a bunch of things to dive into. We have, yeah, you can see my background there. We have a Farcaster spotlight with our friend TLDR, which I always love when Tim's here. There's been so many new things with Bracky in the past few months. So I'm really excited to get an update on that. If you are completely unfamiliar with Bracky, this is going to be a great show for you. So he's going to join us at about the 30-minute mark. We've got a bunch of other fun things going on. So let's get this party started. And we will be back on the other side of this little intro. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. This episode of GM Farcaster is powered by Clanker. Each Monday, we'll bring you the latest news from the Clanker team and highlight the builders innovating with Clanker and Farcaster. Visit clanker.world to launch your token and check out all the new features that Clanker V4 has to offer. Thank you, Clanker, for sponsoring GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Monday, January 5th, and you are here with Nanish Prof and guest co-host Burr Dottie. Joining me, filling in for the vacationing Adrian. Adrian loves to vacation this time of year. She's a big skier, so she's off skiing the mountains somewhere.
Lucky.
Right? Yeah, so she's doing her thing. She's not starting 2026 until next week. So that was the official. She's like, I'm not, nothing new. Yeah.
Yep. Love
Great.
it.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, good, go. She always like, I feel bad. I'm like, nah, don't.
No, I'll always stand in for her vacations.
I know, right? Right. So it's all good. Excited to have this. And then we're going to have TLDR, Tim Riley, joining us at the 30-minute mark, around noon Eastern, to talk about Bracky in our Farcaster spotlight. So I'm very excited. Always love when Tim is here. It's going to be so fun to chat with him and get all the updates. So, but before that, we got a bunch of things to dive into. So let's get into it, Burr. Here we go.
So exciting.
Sure I have my correct layout. Maybe it's this one. Let's try this one. Like that's not the right one. Yeah, me trying to find the right one. There we go. That's it. So we don't talk about politics on here. Except in memes, except the meme version of the politics. And this was clearly everywhere. As soon as I saw this photo of Maduro, I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be everywhere. Like, here we go. And of course, somebody clanked it. It was Garrett, I think, was the first one I saw. I'm sure there were others, but it was the first clanker I saw. And he did Nike Tech, which was, if you don't know, that's what Maduro is wearing in the photo. And it's sold out. very soon after.
Sure.
Hilarious. This is, by the way, every token we talk about on here, just a reminder, DYOR, NFA. This was a moment. The moment is probably past. So be careful out there in the trenches. But it was fun to see also try emerge. This was my favorite thing. Was A-Town created an emerge workflow with the outfit. So you could put your PFP into the outfit. And of course, I did. And I love mine. I think mine is phenomenal. I think it was the best one I saw. I got my dog there. I got the pizza. It's great. So yeah, I really loved this moment. It was really funny. So all of you should go make your try emerges. I was like on a tear over the weekend. I could not stop.
I love emerge just as much as the next person, so long as the next person is not you. Like I can't, and Burtworth, because I swear every time there's a challenge or I have to use it, I'm just like, oh, I love this little engine, and then I look, I'm like, Prop's already got one out. Look how cute she is.
It's so fun. Yeah. I just love it. I just enjoy it. It's funny. I think it's a good way to dive into a meme as well in just like a fun way. And I also loved the Betties, the Better Awards that you all did before the new year. And I loved that try emerge because I loved that one. I'm like, I look fantastic in this outfit on this pink carpet. It was great. So I really enjoy those.
No, they were really fun, and it was kind of like impromptu. We got talking about someone in chat that was like just a really good community member, and I said, wouldn't it be great if we just had like kind of like these better awards at the end of the year for just the best people? And Tony was like obviously so on board, and I was obviously so deathly ill by the time it came around. We were going to do a live show for it, but there was just no way. So really big shout out for Tony for executing something that I said on the whim. And I was like, here you go, Tony. Here's all this work. I can't help you with it because I'm dying.
I'm dying. It's all you. But I still think it's a great idea.
And you should still do it.
This is so funny. Steal their look. Get that dictator-fit. That's hilarious, Cassie. Exactly. Like that was the vibe. There was actually one that was like steal this look. I posted the meme. I didn't pull it for today. That was so funny. But honestly, I love the styling in the merge. We can have fun with it. Moving on. Couple things from 2026 that came out after we did our New Year's show that I just wanted to highlight. This from Vitalik. Welcome to 2026. Milady is back. Ethereum did a lot in 2025. Gas limits increase, blob count increase, node software quality improve, ZK EVMs blasted through their performance milestones. With ZK EVMs and Perdas, Ethereum made its largest step forward, being a fundamentally new and more powerful kind of blockchain. More on this later, but we have a challenge. Ethereum needs to do more to meet its own stated goals. So I'm not going to read the rest of this, but I'd highly recommend you go give this a read from Vitalik if you are interested in the Ethereum ecosystem, which if you're here, I'm going to guess you are, because I don't know how you found me otherwise, but go check that out. I think it was a great read. As was this from Fred Wilson. Fred Wilson's been on a tear with his writing, like the couple things that I'm even pulling today. So go give him a follow. His paragraph posts are really good, very well written, always interesting and thought-provoking. So go check that out. And then we had this from Burr, which was my favorite 2026 post. Was 2025 the best? No. But did you at least make some money? Still no. Will 2026 be the year you finally make it? Fuck no. Happy New Year.
I was like, if I'm going to be fucking miserable, so is everybody else. We're just going to give them the hard truth.
Can you tell that somebody was in bed with the flu? wasn't really feeling that like Happy New Year vibe.
Like, fuck your New Year, fuck your holidays. It's all over. I'm dying. I don't care.
Like I laughed so hard when I read this. Like I was absolutely dying, absolutely hilarious. So yeah. I was right there with you. But anyway,
you just have to say it.
but anyway, someone had to say it. All right.
That's my brother and sister-in-law's dog. She wasn't having the nonsense.
She was not into it. Nope. Yeah, it was a perfect image. Absolutely perfect image. So funny. All right, moving along to something a little bit more positive. This is from Brad Q. This is our 29 seconds of Farcaster. What did you miss this weekend? Deployer launched Deployer on Zora and caused a bit of a stir, which we're going to talk about in just a moment, in the trading world, encouraging people to buy it with banker and rewarding people for doing so. Market cap around 700K. Speaking of creator coins, Derek added thoughtful content to the discussion, including his thoughts on a DM interaction with Jesse. Cassie started rolling out the vibes to Quorum. Hello, Cassie. I see you in the chat. A mobile beta, stated goal, the private everything app. And the number of people checking it out was noticeable this weekend. It appears, moving on, it appears to be client season on Farcaster as more and more gems and posts from other clients led by Comstark and Daryl Yeo hitting just about every app over the weekend. I am seeing a lot more client diversity. I saw a lot of people posting for Quorum, from Uno. We saw Vitalik posting from Firefly. Like, it's been kind of fun to see that diversity. So love to see it. There was some stir on Saturday with a certain Nike sweatsuit and maybe a Moon Poppy quasi lookalike. Yeah, by the way, Moon Poppy's all set for Halloween. Just grab yourself a Nike Tech and you're good to go. He's already got the headphones, just needs a sleep mask. He is good to go. But I'll let GM Farcaster deal with that, and I just did. Speaking of GM Farcaster, we're back after a break. There you go. Yeah, so that was all of that, and we got a few of those things. I did want to highlight this real quick. I just saw this from Peachy. That's a hard no for me. This is a mini app that is asking for your seed phrase. Any mini app, anything, any person asking for your seed phrase, just say no. Do not put it in. Like, there's very few instances when you should do this. Like, really only when you're importing a wallet somewhere that, like, you know, onto a new device or something like that. But no mini app should be asking for your seed phrase. So I believe that they reported this to the Farcaster team and are trying to get it nerfed. But just in general, because another one will pop up at some point, don't do this. Just don't do this.
Hey, Prof, what can people do to combat this? Can they is there a report button? Can they do their part to help clean up the space too?
Yeah, if you are, if you see something, and even if it's just a cast that looks spammy, replies that are spammy, all those things, you can either report a cast or you go to the profile of the person, report the user, and then block them is what I'd recommend. But I do the report first and then block. They do check those reports. They are pulling them. Obviously, you might have reported a lot of things recently and heard nothing because they were on holiday. There's been a little bit more spam, but it's all being, you know, it'll get cleaned up. So that's what I would recommend. But just and also, if you see something like this, do what Peachy did and at least share it so that there's more awareness for things that are unsafe out there. So be careful out there. This is on the Farcaster and base apps. So be careful. This was really interesting. So this is the other thing from Fred Wilson that I pulled. Hi casters, I ran an experiment over the holidays to see if USV could close an investment without legal representation. The answer is a resounding yes, and I wrote about it today. So as an attorney, so when ChatGPT came out, like when it got really hot and big, like 3 years ago, whatever it was, that weekend, there were two things that I thought right in that moment is one, legal profession's in trouble as soon as this gets better. It wasn't at that moment, but I'm like, this is gonna be a problem. And the second thing I thought of was I need to change every single one of my assignments in class. And I did, like immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
like, okay, all of my professions are in trouble. So yeah, this was really interesting. So if you're a founder and you're doing anything with term sheets, et cetera, you're closing deals, take a look at this because it may save you a ton of money. But also just know that it may not be the best approach for everything. they've done a million deals. If this is your first deal, it might be a little different, but they've done so many. They have a lot of experience. They can handle this themselves. I totally agree with this approach. For them, this is not legal advice, by the way, but just take a look and see, because it might be helpful to you. But again, not legal advice, not financial advice, no advice whatsoever, probably not a cult. Moving on. That was my usual, when I did noun spaces, that was my usual disclaimer, was
Nice.
not legal advice, not financial advice, probably not a cult. Probably not a cult. Ignore the tattoo. This from Sofa. Blogs posts show in full cast on the sofa because we're building a client that is about depth and thoughtfulness. So I actually had curated the Fred Wilson cast over there, and it does show up, like you can just read it in app. So I'd recommend checking it out over there. This from Deployer. This was fun. I'm enjoying this experiment. So this is from Deployer. I did the contrarian thing and launched Deployer on Zora. Let's see what happens. Buy some using Banker in the comments, and I will send you some back. So, which I didn't do, and I probably should have, and I don't know why I didn't. And then this was a follow-up. Had fun yesterday sending out Deployer on X using Banker. Going forward, all Zora fees and fees from content coins will go towards buying Deployer. I'll be adding additional Deployer from my 15K TWAP to the LP pool to capture more fees. So what I like about this, and again, NFA, a lot of NFA today. I like that Deployer is using it to experiment with Banker, is like thinking about different ways to add to it. Like, I just kind of enjoyed this experiment. I also think what Real Gary Tan has been doing has been a good experiment. I think Deployer is the first one that I've seen that is like very, it's not a well-known person in the larger world, but is a well-known person to us and to those in crypto. So it's interesting to see how this is going to play out relative to other creator coins, but it's a fun experiment. So go check it out. We know you love Deployer as well. So I'm
a huge Banker fan. I just realized I'm going to be the last one who doesn't have a creator coin or any coin launched under my name. I will be the sole person saying,
hold out.
No,
just
no
hold
coin.
out. Just
I
hold
really
out,
think
girl.
I only have to wait out. I only have to wait out like 5 more people. So everyone has a coin now.
Yeah, I have multiple, and I for different platforms. We have not launched one for GM Farcaster. Let me say that again. Besides the one we have for our paragraph, we do not have a coin, and we are not planning on it. And I guarantee you will hear it here first if we do.
I actually think that you're one of the only people in this space that is properly playing around with like in the sandbox with like a lot of coins.
Yeah.
There's very few people that I think that have many coins that are doing it correctly, but I feel like, and maybe it's because you have the show and you can disseminate information so well, but you're one of the few people that I think actually gets it. And if Jesse was smart, he would talk to you about all the things you're doing with them.
Well, thank you. And the way I'm
Cool.
trying to approach when we're experimenting with coins is just being very transparent.
Yeah.
And also kind of knowing that some of these are going to be very ephemeral because they relate to a game or a moment or an event or something like that. So, and I'm also trying like different things in different platforms because I just want to understand how they work so that we can explain it over here. So sometimes it's not like and we will say that, like if I'm launching a Zora coin or something like that, it's like, hey, I'm doing this. I don't know how much time I'm going to put into it. Just FYI, and just understand so that we don't have any confusion. So we try to do that. TWAP is time. I'm going to forget what it stands for. Time weighted something. It's a way like you set up over this 24 hours. Here's 15,000 USDC over this 24 hours by Banker at the best prices, essentially. Is
like a
what
time swap.
Time swap. Yeah, I'm like something like I forget what it is. I forget what it stands. It definitely sounds like a bad word.
Time weighted average
Time
price.
weighted
Yeah.
average price. Thank you. Yes to crypto. Thank you,
I said that
Cassie.
time swap.
Time swap.
Exactly what I said.
Time weighted average price. Like it stands for something, something, something. But this is what it does. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, and it does sound like a bad word, but it's not. So that was fun to see what he's doing and how he's experimenting and using that, and then rewarding, existing holders of his various things. So appreciate that. This from Yes to Crypto. If Farcaster was up only, then it wouldn't be real. It's more like real life where there are downtimes, exhilarating moments, sad terms, sexy points, frustrating people, best friends that stay, and really good acquaintances that leave. I'm here for it all and am grateful for another year, starting with Farcaster as a companion. And I just think that is a great way to look at it. So if you're feeling a little frustration, this too shall pass.
It always does.
It always does. And this from Chaskin: applications that run without fraud, censorship, or third-party interference, applications that pass the walkaway test. They keep running even if the original developers disappear, applications where the users don't notice if Cloudflare goes down, applications whose stability outlives companies, ideologies, political parties, applications that protect your privacy. I like this thinking in terms of the things that we hope to see more of. And I think that is great. I'm really interested to see how the next year, like what the Ethereum Foundation works on, does, etc.
I think everything is going to get really accelerated really fast soon.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's already moving at warp speed, but I think now with ChatGPT and the evolution of it, we're just going to see 2026 is going to get really interesting for a lot of
2026 is going to get, I agree. And I think there's a lot of cool things happening. And then I think there's a lot of who the heck knows? Stuff to be a little, I'm cautiously optimistic is the way I'm going into this year. Okay, a few things from builders before TLDR joins us. This from Flexosaurus: MTV was a cultural institution that changed music, fashion, and youth culture. Then they stopped showing music videos. It became reality TV. Felt a wave of sadness when the announcement hit. Nothing felt like it could fill that void. So I started coding and built in 48 hours MTV Rewind. 25,762 music videos, 60 days of continuous playback, 70s, 80s, Yo MTV raps, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, zero algorithm, zero ads, zero bullshit, just press play. Built with Anthropic Claude, data from IMVDB. So very cool. Love to see this. I too was sad to see MTV, finally close their last 24-hour music channel. So cool to see this. That's a very interesting approach to sadness. This from Cassie. So I'm really glad to see you in the chat. Happy New Year. 2025 has been one hell of a year to dig deep and throw everything at building, and that I did. So we started things off today by starting the rollout of invites to the Quorum mobile beta. So this is, and then before that was our goal for 2026 with Quorum, the private everything app. So this is built on Quilibrium, which is a decentralized everything, decentralized platform. And I'm going to do a very poor job of explaining it. So my goal in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, Cassie, if you're still around here, is to get Cassie back on GM Farcaster. We've done one interview with her at FarCon, very brief, kind of a quick thing. But we need to do a little deeper dive. So hopefully when she has time, we can do that. Great. Because I need to get you on here to do some more explaining. But I did also really enjoy the Christmas games that she was playing, which was really fun. I did finally find, I was getting so frustrated trying to find reindeer and finally did. So that was good. All right, couple more things. We can also noggle on Quorum. So that makes me happy because I miss my noggles. If you didn't know, when you share the Unicode noggles, the nouns glasses, when you used to be able to share them on Farcaster, it would turn the little icon into that, the little emoji icon into that, and I miss it. This from Burr. She's going to give away 2 better hats. We still haven't figured this out yet exactly. But here's what I think we should do, Burr, is during TLDR's interview, let's grab a couple of questions that we can ask. So people will need to be paying attention to that.
Okay.
And then we'll ask them in the chat. And if you are here, you'll have a chance to win one of 2 better hats. So we'll ask 2 questions, and whoever gets the answer first will be the one who wins the hat. So very exciting. Coming soon. And this also from Burr is you don't have to give any alpha yet, but you did say in 2026 we're changing some things up, but for now I can run some poker. So this was from the other day. This is not an active poker right now, but a couple of quick things. So if you're in the Better Believers chat, which means you are staking 50 million or more Better token, there'll be poker games that pop up, different opportunities. You get to spin early, things like that. But you have some things you're cooking up. So anything you want to share, you want to just like tease anything, or just kind of keep an eye out? Should we just keep an eye out?
I think what I want to say right now is that we are actively pursuing even more ways to have fun in 2026.
I love that.
As the CFO, that's what I can promise in 2026. We have a couple big ideas. Poker is still going to resume. If you've noticed, we've fired up some more sit and goes. And for those who don't know, it's basically one table that runs. If you're in the Better chat, it's kind of just a nice, fun experience to play a table. It's super quick, less than an hour. But in 2026, I think we would like to really get behind the vision of, people getting better together and having even more fun. So I'm pretty excited about it. And once I'm better, we can start rolling out some of those details.
First, she has to get better, and then the rest of us can.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm excited to see what you cook up. I know you've done some cool things in the past, so we shall see. We shall see. Couple more builder items. This from Calo. Quants, we are starting 2026 with indexy updates. Just shipped new navigation to easily find your indexes, tracked indexes and assets, and your positions. Recently visited items, including quant profiles, expanded native in-app notifications to include performance, index rebalancing and tracking updates, slight UI UX improvements, more upgrades on the way. And there's a quick video that you can check out to see those updates. If you haven't checked out Indexy, highly recommend you give it a whirl. It's a way similar to ETFs or other indexes, a way to do this with tokens. And trying to see this is from me, who from the Farcaster base app system is planning on going to ETH Denver this year. So please take my poll. It's open, I think, until Thursday. I think I left it open for a week. And let us know if you're going to be at ETH Denver, because we are planning some things. So go check it out. Let us know. And we're trying to figure out if we have enough folks who are going to be there so that we can have some little fun. But I think we're moving forward. We'll know shortly. If you are unfamiliar with what we've done in the past, Tim, who I see down in our green room, who we'll bring up in just a moment, we've done a karaoke brunch. The reason we do a karaoke brunch is because the folks who were most active in our daily chats back in the day are the ones who requested it. So that's how much we love you, and we needed to do that. All right, I'm opening up my Bracky, all my TLDR Bracky casts, so I can get this going and give a proper intro. I am going to throw this up here before I even bring him up. from TLDR. I'm excited for this next day. I'm very excited for this next week. I'm very, very excited for this next year. I'm very, very, very excited for this next decade. This is the anti-Burr 2026 post. This is like the exact opposite of your post that we just showed.
So full of hope.
So full of hope. So let's get this rolling. This is our official Clankcaster Spotlight for this week, and we're excited to have it here. Hold on, I got to find my clanks.
Get your pots and pans out.
Got to get the clanks out, and let's bring up Tim and hold on. Big reveal if I can actually find it. Here we are. Welcome.
Yay.
Welcome, TLDR.
Yeah, and it's good to see you.
And the Cryptoad in the back. I love the Cryptoad. It's my favorite thing about
interviewing. I didn't wear
him.
my hat. We could have been matching.
We could have been twinsies. I'd be wearing a Bracky hat, but they don't exist yet.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. There actually are a few. They're very, very rare. We gave some out as prizes at the beer pong tournament to like.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
No, we've been kind of like not anti-merch, but like as a principle, we just try to never focus on something that isn't part of like the primary goal of like what we want to crack. And so it's just like there's always just 10 more things that we want to do other than merch. But you did connect me with the minute merch stuff. Seems really cool. So yeah, I'm DMing with them about it now.
Great.
We should do something. New year. Let's have a little fun.
Yeah, and they'll handle it all for you. So you
that was the cool part, right?
Like you don't have to do anything.
Awesome.
Like let us buy the merch, Tim.
Help me help you.
Just say yes, Tim. We'll take care of the rest. We'll just give you the money. Come on, let's do it.
Cat Cartel,
Cat Cartel's in the chat. I just want the Bracky hat. I want that little guy.
Me too.
That guy right there.
Okay, we gotta ask Cat Cartel like how we can whitelist you guys and make sure you're at the top of the list for making this happen.
Because we'll just wear it all the time on the show. So
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
You gotta do it. All right. I know. I'm like, I need a Bracky background. So I went to all your profiles and I was looking at the banners, and most of them don't have banners. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, okay.
Right. We have like one banner. That's another New Year's resolution. That's like merch.
Like merch.
We don't need that.
It's not that important. I get it. Totally.
But no,
get it.
the banners can be fun. We should do that too.
Yeah, we need a little, just need it. So I made my own background. All right, so let's start.
I'm just going to steal your banner.
Just go ahead. You can. Yeah, steal it. Okay, so we need to level set because I am certain we've got a lot of people watching. This is also on the Farcaster and Clanker accounts on Twitter. So let's start from what is Bracky to like make sure that anyone who wandered in and is like, I have no idea what this is. And then I want to really dive into like some of the new stuff that you have going on. But let's start there. Like tell the folks, what is Bracky?
Yeah, so simple, like kind of first experience is that Bracky is a sports prediction market that you can use from anywhere, right? So if you think about like most sports betting apps, they're trying to sort of advertise somewhere and then drive you into their own like app experience, which is kind of their own walled garden. The core thesis with Bracky is meet people exactly where they're already hanging out, right? That could be an iMessage chat with your friends. It could be on Twitter. Of course, our origin is on Farcaster, right? It could be Base, it could be Discord, it could be Telegram. But like, instead of, hey, I'm having a sports conversation, now I saw an advertisement to get, 200 free on DraftKings with like 3 asterisks next to it. And now I got to go download their app and give them my credit card information and KYC and all that. It's like, no, with Bracky, the agent, you can see your friend make a sports prediction in the feed and say, oh, that looks fun. And within 30 seconds, you can have done it yourself, right? So for us, it's like, how do we create the magic experience of letting people get involved with like making predictions about sports along with their friends and do it as quickly and easily as possible in the first experience? So like that's Bracky, the agent, is who's living in all of those places facilitating it. We do have a really cool app. Sometimes when I tell the story this way, it makes people think that I'm like anti-app. But we also have like Bracky.app. Bracky.app is great. Like we think it's competitive and in certain ways better than, you know, some of the other sports betting experiences. But I think of it more as once you become a power user and you want to look at your portfolio and explore more of what's going on and kind of go deeper into it yourself, the app is a great space for that. But like the core proposition for us is if the three of us are hanging out in Farcaster and we happen to be talking about the game that's coming up tonight or the one that just happened, we want the action to be able to be taken right there. Right. And that's what makes it fun and social and different and interesting. And, you know, there's some other things with this. We use our own Bracky token as the sole currency for all of these markets. So that's what allows us to, the fact that we run our own markets in our own currency is what allows us to do that everywhere version of a sports betting app with an agent that you can do instantly. What enables that is the fact that we run our own markets with our own Bracky currency. I would just say that what people should, a good thing to think about with the Bracky currency is, you know, it's like, it's weird in a way to not be betting with, I want to put $10 on the Ravens, and if they win, I'll get 20 back, right? And so in our system, you know, you're using this different currency. It's like, how much is that worth? Wait, the Bracky price changed since I won. So like I thought I was going to win $20, but then, you know, the 100,000 Bracky that I won is now worth 25 or 15. There's that fluctuation. We think of that as like a feature and not a bug of what we're doing. There's tons of great places where you can bet in dollars and get a very stable understanding of what you win back. There's nowhere where you can bet in the currency of the network itself, right? So what's cool about that is you might be losing some bets, but you're like, wow, but this was really cool. This was fun. I see a lot of people using it. I think a lot more people are gonna use it. I'm glad I own Bracky, right? And so that's really fun for us. And it also is like people who don't want to bet every game, they still feel excited about Bracky doing it every once in a while because they have some of the token. You know, so it creates different levels of, you can passively participate in being part of this network without having to be like an everyday, you know, I won't use the word degenerate, but just even an everyday, like.
What'd you call me?
Yeah, well, you know, some people deserve that.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, but some people are just love to do it, right? And they have their systems and they love to come back every day and are super active. A very different thing for us is that we don't privilege, in terms of the user experience that we want to create, we don't think about privileging the high volume bettors as the only people we're trying to make our experience for. If you just want to come play like once a week or once a month or just once,
just the Super Bowl,
just Super Bowl, or just that's totally okay. Like we want you to still feel ownership and excitement about what's going on, and that this was a great experience for you. Because I think the big opportunity in this stuff is like, how do we get more casual fans to be a part of something? Right. Because the more of our friends who can be a part of this, the more fun experiences we can create, you know, even if it's just once a year for March Madness, like
Right.
we want to be the go-to place for people to have fun socially around this stuff.
And it is really social in terms of, I've had so many interactions that have happened because of Bracky and because of the social graph.
Me too.
So there's a lot of that, and there's a lot of layers to Bracky.
Yeah.
But essentially, from an easy user perspective, the way you're going to do this is tag Bracky or Bracky HQ on Twitter and say, "Hey Bracky, what are the markets?" You can just say, "What are the markets?" or you can say, "What's the NFL market? What's the NBA market? What's the," and you know, depending on what's going on.
Teach me about the sport, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know that sport. Like, what should I know, right? You know, who else is doing this, right? So these are the things that's fun. I mean, I think
you could probably, can you even ask it, "Hey, are any of my mutuals have any? What are they betting on?" Can you ask that? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, we have to be kind of careful with it because some people, I mean, blockchain is really interesting, right? Because this stuff's all, it's actually public. And so at first we were just like, Bracky would talk about anybody's bets all the time, right? And like what's in their wallets. And people are like, "Hey, why are you saying that?" Especially people who are in crypto. It's like, "Hey, why are you broadcasting like what's in my wallet?" And you know, we're so deep in crypto that to me, I was like,
yeah, whatever.
Everybody can already see that if they want to, right? Like that. But that experience was different. So like one of the things we're working on is how can we make these connections and like reveal the appropriate amount of stuff to like make it more social like that.
So recently you started rolling out these threads on Twitter with somewhat influencers, we'll say, people who are influential in the space.
Yeah.
And Deez is one of the people that I follow, that we each follow each other back.
I love
and so I was able to make the free bet with him. And I thought that the way Bracky handled the social interaction of that, they didn't mention any totals. They just said, you know, this person's all betting on the Ravens and or whatever it was. And I think that's probably the level you're trying to achieve in terms of social ability without exposing how much is in the wallet. And I think that was pretty indicative.
Exactly. Like, I mean, stuff like that. It's all about like, we think of there's the like all the sports betting apps are just trying to solve for like betting liquidity. We're also really interested in like the conversational liquidity around sports. So like, how do we use a bet to start more conversation with people, right? And so I think that loop is really important. It works different in every different space, you know, like it's a bit different if Bracky's in your Telegram group or in your, you know, whatever group chat versus being on Twitter versus being on Farcaster, right? We're much cozier place, right? So like that's one of the big learnings for me going to Twitter in September was that naively I thought like, oh, we built Bracky on Farcaster. We built with the design principle that we're not going to do anything that won't work on Twitter. So we built that way for
that was smart.
Right. We didn't use Farcaster native tools that we couldn't use on Twitter. Everything we did was about what we could do. Now the night that was, you know, that was great, but like it unfortunately doesn't just work immediately off the shelf in the same way because Twitter is just such a different social environment, right? It technically worked there, but socially everybody thinks Bracky is a scam, right? Like, you know, everything's a scam there. In Farcaster, everything's legitimate.
That's so funny.
But in Twitter,
I didn't even know that part. That's so funny.
So it's just totally different where it's like
that's funny.
The top of funnel conversion on Farcaster was so high, right? Like it's like 30% of people who get a first interaction or an invite with Bracky are then following up and interacting the first time, right? And then the subsequent ones, people come back. On Twitter, it's like 1/50th of that, right? Like it just You have to, like, even if you're telling your friend about it, right? Like, even with the level of social proof, there's just so much skepticism about engaging with new. And I get it. Like, when you're on Twitter, you see so much.
Sure, of course, yeah.
You see so much scam, so many scams, so much trash, and so there's just it's not that it won't work, but it means that you have to. We want to live in that space with Bracky, so it's like about how do we make the Bracky experience fit. And the thread thing that you brought up was realizing, okay, the thread is saying only the people that Deez follows can respond here and get the free bet and talk and bet on that market together. And that market's just for them, right? So that gets a ton more participation, because it's not just like an influencer says, hey, go use this. Right. It's like, oh, if I follow you, you can get in and we can all see what's happening together. And it's creating like a cozier space within Twitter. So we're going to be experimenting with a lot of stuff like that in every space that we break into. There's that new challenge of how do we make it work for this? Yes. How do we make the social experience fit there? Because Farcaster is so unique and special, right? It really is. It's such an incredibly optimistic, and I think it is the best place to grow, right? Because you get a chance to discover something in an ideal environment. So like, that's the thing, you have something. Because of Farcaster, I know we have something. Right. And that gives you confidence. That's why if you just launched this in Twitter and everybody hated it and no one would interact with it, you never would have known that you had anything. Right?
No, you wouldn't have gotten as far as you did.
For sure.
Because you would have given up.
100%.
Like, you feel beat down. So I feel like that's the magic of Farcaster, is it's an incubator. If you're launching a new project, it is a perfect little incubator. You've got a ton of early adopters. They will be brutal with their feedback in a nice way. But they're not, you know what I mean? Like, if you ask for honest feedback, you're going to, and you ask Burr for honest feedback, you're going to get it. Whether you ask her or not, you're going to get it.
Burr gives great feedback. I mean, but that is like and when Burr's giving brutal feedback too, she'll also just say, like, this is what I do to help, right? Like, I'm not, I love your product. Absolutely. Like, I'm not being critical. This is what I'm doing to help. And it's like, where else do you even get people that are that self-aware
and that are thoughtful about it too? Like, Derek's another one. Like, you have so many people who are using, and they're daily or active users, maybe weekly users, who are also in a chat with you, who also all along the way have been giving you feedback. So it's a whole different animal. But what I wanted to touch on with the Twitter shift is that how seamless on the tech side this worked. Like, even if people are pushing back and they don't know you and they're like, hey, scammer, which they do that to everybody about everything. The tech of it worked so well. I was really impressed by that. Like, I'm like, how does Bracky know my, wallet? Like, how does it know me over here? And it just does. And it knows my wallet. It's, it knows me. Like, it's talking about the Jets again. It knows me. It's really funny. But I think that makes it so much easier for then us who have been using Bracky for a long time to go over to Twitter and share that. And I noticed you did that with Garrett, because this was really cool, the Bracky ride.
Yes.
So
I want to talk.
Can you explain this a little bit? Because it wasn't the same as the threads.
No, it's right. It's like
a little different.
It's like a layer on top of it. And again, people can put this into their mind as, this is us looking for what's the thing on Twitter. Like, if we find the thing on Twitter, like, we are going like friend tech exponential, right? Like, it's just, if you find how to crack Twitter, right? you are in business, and like that's what we want to do, because that's what's going to make it more fun for everybody. When we have more users, we can have more markets, right? When we have a lot more users, we can start doing like badminton in Indonesia because Bracky speaks Indonesian, right? It's not hard for us to run those.
Hold on, pause it for a second. Everyone needs to know that part. Bracky speaks multiple languages. So you can talk to it in your language, which I'm now saying this in English, so this may not be that useful. But if you are watching this with subtitles or something, tag Bracky and you can ask him in your language.
Yes.
All right, continue.
Bracky has booked transactions on chain in over 50 languages. So like not just like, said hello in Uzbek. Like the Horsefax did this one. Horsefax somehow knows Uzbek. That's not surprising, right? But like, not just like I said hello in Uzbek, but like booked a bet on the Knicks and the to make the finals in Uzbek, right? So that's just like super cool to see.
And Dwoofy wants to confirm he speaks in idiot, and Bracky always understands.
Always.
So there you go.
Love Dwoofy. Good to see.
We love you, Dwoofy.
So to go to the ride thing, like the product there, and we're going to be doing a lot more of these. Is you can, and we're whitelisting these for now, right? So we're going to let primarily Bracky Max holders and influencers select certain positions that they want to ride. Okay, so this might be like your favorite team that's playing that week. It might be like a thing that you're super high conviction about. Garrett did this with Oklahoma. That's where he's from. Like that's his team. They were playing Alabama in the college football playoffs. Garrett rides Oklahoma, and that means that if he holds that position to the end, whatever he bought Oklahoma, he gets a 50% boost on his payout.
Oh, okay.
So instead of winning, $2 million, he would win $3 million if Oklahoma wins and he makes it to the end, right? So he's riding that position. The cool thing is that then people can ride with Garrett.
Cool.
What you do in that scenario is you say to Bracky, like, I'm riding with Garrett like this amount, right? And Bracky will confirm with you, okay, here's what's going to happen. You're putting this money in. If you get all the way to the end with Garrett, you also get a 50% boost on the payout. But here's the catch. You cannot sell your position. You are when you ride with Garrett, you're giving Garrett all the power over your shares.
So Garrett can sell.
Garrett can sell.
But you can't.
Time. He can sell once. When he sells, he sells everyone riding with him at that moment.
Sells. Okay.
So wild.
I love this.
You can't play the market. So once you do that, you're locked out of that market. When you ride with Garrett, you can't take the other side. You can't add to your position, like unless you had another account or something. Like you in your main account that you're doing that with. And it was so fun. I did it with Garrett, right? I rode with Garrett, and there's one of these tweets where we have like some pictures of the group chat of people who are riding with Garrett, right?
Awesome.
And it's hilarious because like Oklahoma goes up by 20.
And everybody loves him. And then,
ecstatic, and Garrett's our hero. And then like slowly like Alabama's like chipping away, and like the game is getting out of touch, and we're all just like, Garrett, when are you gonna sell? Right. And it was so fun. And here's my experience of it. I love, my favorite reason to put a bet on something is two things. Number one, it can transform a game that I would just be kind of watching with passing interest into something that I'm really into. It's like create a favorite team right in that moment. And so I love that part of it. But I also love like finding the other people who are into that game on your side or the other side, right? So it's those two things that are fun to me. Like for me, it's not about like I want to go play a single player game. Like
Right.
a funny thing is like I don't even have DraftKings accounts or FanDuel accounts. Never used it. Like I'm not interested in managing a portfolio around sports. What I'm interested in is the way that a bet, even $5 with your friend that you're sitting with, like transforms the game into something different. And this did this for me. You know, we do a lot of those experiences, but I loved it because I got to sit back and care about the game, but not have any ability to do anything. I love it. All I had to do was talk to Garrett.
Right.
But that was fun too, because now I'm still connected with everybody in that group, but I'm not having to trade the game. Right. And some people love trading the game, but like being able to create experiences where you can just have fun is also really important. So it was a blast. Like it's
a great experiment. And I think that's
fun.
creating, somebody just said cozy tribes. I was just going to say cozy corner, cozy tribes, baby. And that's it. Like, right. Yeah. Create those moments with not only your friends, right. In whatever form, but you could be making new friends as part of that because, or new people, or identifying, you know, other Oklahoma super fans or whatever it is. Yeah.
It's an experience. The 20 people who are hanging out in that group chat with Garrett.
Yeah.
We all remember that game. Like really, like we remember that game together and like, is Garrett ever going to sell? Right? Like, why did I do this? Like being on top of the world, like we're all geniuses. We're all going to make extra 50%. And then just watching it dwindle and everybody, you know, pestering Garrett and giving Garrett shit about like, is he going to sell ever? Yeah. And Garrett got, instead of just him being him, he got to be in the arena, right? The person who does it, and I've had this experience a lot, right? When I care a lot more if I like put something out there and then like 10 people are trailing me and they're like, oh, TLDR said this, and they're all jumping on that bet. I care way more about am I going to look like an idiot to those
right. Yeah.
than I do about whether I made the 2 million position, right? Like it's the social part is the really fun part, right? And I think that the tricky but fun thing about what we're doing is how do we use skin in the game to create emergent experiences that are social, that become more than what the skin in the game is, right? They become something more. And this is a really good one. We're going to be pushing on this experience on Twitter.
The other thing that this comment, the Draw Father strikes again, that kind of points to is that Bracky community is developing its own memes. It's developing its own language. It's got its, you know, like moments. And this is one of the things. And the draw fathers, when there's a tie, right? And usually it's soccer, I'm assuming. Sorry, football.
Yes.
Soccer. You know, but it's usually that's where I see it happen. And I've seen this a few times where the draw father comes out.
The draw father is base intern. And he's a huge European football fan and knows a lot about it. And he was betting draw, I think, just because it was like an underrepresented position. Like he's smart about it and is under. But Bracky at some point had created a memory that the base intern loves draws.
Oh, that's funny.
So he was always saying that, you know, that like comments are around like, well, according to your usual fashion, like you're betting draw, or when he didn't bet draw, I'm surprised you didn't bet draw. So then this becomes a meme among us that he plays into, and every time there's a draw, everybody wants to know like what draw.
Did he do it or not? Yeah, did he bet on it or not? Yeah.
And so I think these things, you know, they're all again, to go back to like the discovery of a seed. They're the seed of something, right? Like that this kind of stuff is where relationships are formed and experiences that are memorable and worthwhile happen, right? And sports are great for that. And just like with Farcaster, you know, for this stuff for me is like kind of it's valuable and worthwhile, like in its own right. Like it's worth doing just for what we have. But then I'm also thinking always like, if we can figure out the way to facilitate that happening in different languages for different sports for any number of people, like that's really something, right? Like, and that's just like a genuinely differentiated product compared to like what sports betting is as an industry, right? And
I think there's a few other differences, like obviously the agent part of it, where Bracky remembers you. You just touched on it a little bit with the memory, but it like, so, okay, I got to tell the Jets story. So Plants NFT on Farcaster, like was trying to get me to bet on the Yankees. And I was like, absolutely not. I will never bet on the Yankees. There's nothing in this world that will ever, even if you give me the funds, I'm not doing it. He's like, okay, how about the Jets? And I'm like, fine. Fine, you know, but I knew it was a losing bet. And I'm like, you want me to bet on the
It's always a losing bet. Yeah,
the Jets to even make the playoffs? I'm like, all right. Like, I know this is going to go bad at some point, but he's giving me 10,000 Bracky to do it for whatever reason. Finally, he goes, okay, you can switch now. No, I'm like, thanks. But Bracky has been so funny about that and brings up the Jets all the time and Plants and like knows the story. Yeah. And it's hilarious. So anytime I even tag it to ask it something completely unrelated, it brings up the Jets now, which is so funny. So it's really fun in that way though. And I like this, like, that's a great point with the Draw Father that he's doing it. You know, it's remembering all the different things. And I think that's really kind of special. It becomes it's part of his personality. It's like, you know, Bracky becomes this personality, not just a agent. So.
Yes, exactly. And that is a huge, it's a huge investment for us. It's a huge part of the thesis. And if you think about like just how much social is at the center, when the agent becomes a personality, that's a part of the social experience, right? It really is. And I think it's like a super fun, it's a fun thing to explore just generally on the frontier of agents becoming active parts of our lives, right? It's just a fun thing to explore, right? Like how can we make this into a positive sum experience? And the personality is a huge part of that.
Absolutely. And it makes it just a much more fun experience. The other thing that I love is that you can add it to a group chat on Base app.
Yeah.
So, and have those conversations, and it can do, you know, you can be adding bets right in there. And I think that's a really interesting feature that's specific to the Base app. Totally. I think I would love to see it even get more attention for that. Sure. But it did. Well, when they, they did open it. Like they gave it a shout out when they did their recent Coinbase system update. And this was something you had posted that I loved. Base is now open to millions, and every one of them will be greeted with these beautiful AI faces whenever they use Messenger. Incredible possibilities. And the bracket team is cooking. It's going to be a crazy year for sports fans on Base. I can promise you that. So if you are on the Base app, you can tag Bracky in a DM. Just go into your direct messages. You can do it in a group chat, or it can be just a one-on-one, right? You can just, if you're just like, I don't want anybody to know what I'm doing because I'm, you know, you can either use the app or you can tag it in a group chat and just talk to it.
And you can
So,
get some
yeah.
free Bracky. Bracky will tell you this on base chat, but like you can also by just connecting like a social, like a SMS or Twitter, you can get some initial Bracky to just play around with for free.
Great.
So that you can just
It's a great way to start.
You can just get going, right? Like in the other, like when we're in the public forums, people inviting someone is a great way. Like Bracky gives them a free first bet when someone gets invited by a current like active member. But even in base chat, like we wanted to make sure that everybody can use it. Your point about like group chat and on base, that group chats again are it's a really different space, right? They're much more intimate. And so it's going to be your close friends, like almost by definition. Right. And I think that, you know, what experiences are possible there. Like we just ran something that was very cool where like Bracky just posted a message about college football playoffs.
Yep.
It said, do an emoji reaction for the team that you want. And so all of our max holders, which is people who have 10 million or more in their wallet, they could react. Oh, they're perfect. Yes, exactly. So
it was the exact next thing I was going to bring up.
Yes, this is super fun. And like, this is another experiment, right? Where if you imagine like, what's my first interaction with Bracky, right? And like one of the things we're working on is like, you know, we got Bracky in base chat. There's superpowers to that because we can, you know, for example, fill your wallet by having Bracky interact with Banker. Your Coinbase wallet is right there. Like all the crypto stuff's super easy to activate within Base. But group chat in general, it's like if I add Bracky, this is going to be something you can do like in the first quarter of this year. If I add Bracky to my like iMessage chat as a contact, how do we all get going? Right? Like, so what, like if you bring it in with your friends, right? Or your family, like what, like how is it actually going to happen that everybody gets
right?
Right.
Yeah.
It needs to be super.
The piece is like you're missing the wallet aspect of it, but you can like if you have them on Base app, then you can do that where you can kind of manage that and help them and get them started. So the first thing for now would be like just get them on Base app and get them in a group chat and then do it from there and do a little instruction.
But Base wallet is a superpower. It actually is. People are going to want to come into the Base app, for example, to be able to have like the most seamless financial aspect of like, how do I deposit? And how do I off ramp, right? Like if I want to turn my Bracky into dollars, right? Like using Base and Coinbase, like Coinbase is going to be a literal necessary step for anybody who makes Bracky anywhere. They're gonna have to figure out how to off ramp it or turn it into funds that they can use on other stuff.
Right.
And I actually think that that's the superpower of Base app. Like that's gonna, when people are thinking like, how do I turn my winnings and take half of it and turn it into some money that I can spend in real life, right? Like that's where like Base and Coinbase are going to shine, right? And so I think there's like a huge element there. But like in your family group chat on iMessage, like we can spin up a wallet associated with your phone number.
Oh, that's cool.
You just sign in with your phone number, and you are a Bracket user as
amazing
usual, as if you had done.
Is that being powered by Privy or and when is that coming? Because that's amazing.
This is a priority for us in like the first quarter of this year. Like we're getting to the point where people want to tell their friends about Bracky. Just like
I would love to. I can totally see doing this. Like I do a couple group trips with friends.
Exactly.
I have one coming up, and like I could totally see doing that with them, where it would be so much harder for me to get them to onboard to an app.
For us, it's like, how many ways can we meet people? And then each step that they want to deepen the experience, that might be
right
on our site, and then that might be signing up for Base and Coinbase because you can off ramp. Like there's kind of layers, but you don't want to hit everybody with every layer instantly. You know, our really a driving thesis of our user experience is meet people where they are as much as possible in a way that's delightful and easy. And so like that emoji reaction thing is, it was used to make the market. So like everybody who reacted, like Garrett and Maritus reacted with the emoji symbol for University of Miami. Like it's the raised hand, so it's the U. So what they did is they split like all of the opening shares that like sort of determined Miami opens with a certain price. So there's already shares that exist so that they can open at their market price. Maritus and Garrett split those shares. So they got them, they pre-mined those shares before the market opened. And so this was like a fun way for our max holders to get a game where they could pick their favorite teams and get free shares before the game, before the market opened.
And I think I saw this and didn't comment, and now I regret it desperately. But
you'll get it soon. We're gonna do all of these, but like
this is really fun.
How markets open. So if you think about like right now,
I think this touches on actually, and this touches on, Tim, like something that I think a lot of people don't understand. And I was having a hard time explaining this to my brother. But I think this like leads us into like the last like sort of big thing I'd like to dive in with you and have you explain is that these are shares. It's not like a traditional bet where it's like win or lose and that's it. It's different. Because it's more like buying a token or stock or something like that, where it's going to go up and down in value and price and where your entry points are, et cetera. It also means you have opportunities to not lose. I know it's hard to imagine some people in the chat who are, you know, if you're not winning, there are ways to not lose, which is very exciting. So yes, Gilbster. Wait, people are winning? Yes. So, but also, even if you can, there are ways you can not lose by selling at the right time or switching sides. You jump out, jump into the other one. So that was the funniest thing. I think I had bet on the Ravens to win. This was when I was at my brother's house over the holidays, and they were losing and they were going to lose. And I was like, I got to get out. And they're like, why did you bet on the Ravens? You just lost money. I'm like, no, I actually made money. And I couldn't explain that to them.
Losing position for sure. If you get out in time. Right? And no, this is, I mean, it is a feature that is what makes a prediction market is that it is an exchange rather than a centralized offer for a position. And so when DraftKings, they might have like a payout feature that they use AI to say you could cash out right now, but DraftKings is using their algorithm and like their proprietary odds makers to give you like the cheapest thing that they think you might take, right? There's no reason that you think that your cash out position should have any value on DraftKings. If you do that though on Polymarket, it is actually those prices are and Bracky, right? But I want to be clear that this is all prediction markets, like Polymarket. It's like trade on Polymarket,
right?
Not just bet on Polymarket, and you can do it live, and it's really cool. So like this is a feature of all prediction markets. I think a point though is that like it's true of all prediction markets. It's just as true of Polymarket as it is of Bracky.
Right.
I think the point though is, right, people don't know that that's a thing. Just like you're saying, it's like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Normal people don't.
And then they were continuing to argue with me that I was wrong. And I was like, like, here, look at the base scan.
Yeah.
Like, no.
So, exactly. You can't. So the this behavior is like is kind of a differentiated experience, I think there's always this question of how are prediction markets can do that kind of cool stuff. Yeah. The question is not just, can you do it? Bracky does it and Polymarket does it. It's also, how do people learn that something exists that can do that?
Right.
It's not just about having the thing. It's about having the thing that can introduce people to that experience. How do you simplify it enough that people aren't overwhelmed and afraid to try it the first time, right? How do you meet them where they are, right? These are all the problems we're thinking about. We actually think the winning prediction market product will be from innovating on the front end first, rather than innovating on the rails first, right? So like, there's tons of regulatory advantages that the big prediction market players have already figured out, and they're great products, right? But like, I think that if you can figure out the front end experience that unlocks this for tons of new users, you figured out the upstream part of the problem, and you flow that back to the innovations that you want on the rails and on the prediction market side. So like, that's a big part for us, is like, this experience is novel. It's true of every prediction market, which is very cool. Prediction market is amazing. But then it's like, how do we reach the people? So when your friends are doing it, it's like, if they can emoji react, and then Bracky, when the game starts, they have some shares. They just have them, right? And Bracky tells them, you have these shares. You can trade them at any time. Here's the prices right now. Yeah. Oh, Prof just sold. The price went down. And people are just seeing how it works from being in the chat. Right now, they're starting to understand.
And they get that first taste of how it works without feeling like they lost anything in the process, because they get a little bit of Bracky to play with. Yes. And that way they can understand. So I definitely would recommend, if you're already a Bracky user, and you think somebody would be interested, definitely tagging them on Twitter or on Farcaster or on BaseApp, and having Bracky give them a little bit to dive into their first thing is the best way to go. Or tag Tim if you forget and you're like, I don't know how to do this. I know they told me something about this. Tag Tim. He'll help you walk through it.
And I love to sort of see all the like initial experiences that people are having, right? Because I think you want to be close to the product experience and see what's working for different groups of people in different environments. And so that's what we're like, I love just kind of watching and helping with like initial onboarding experiences. So definitely like mention not just Bracky, but like mention me, and like I want to help people get started.
Bracky is literally the first and only place I've done any betting or prediction markets, which I'm not for the betting part, for prediction markets. That's true for me as well. Yep. So I still haven't used Polymarket because I still can't, for some reason, get on there. I thought it was open to US, but I don't know. I was having issues.
And I mean, again, I love that. And I think the number of people who have never, this is a Farcaster thing primarily, but never bet on any sport, right? Yeah. There's like layers of newness of the user. And it's like, I've never done a prediction market. I've never bet any sport. I've never watched any sport. Right? We have people who play Bracky regularly who never had watched a sport before. That's incredible.
That's funny. Yeah.
That is like, it literally happens, and they become a fan and they become friends of other fans. Now you have a new hobby and a new group of people to share that with. Like, that experience right there, I think this is awesome. That, like, when I talk to certain people about this, they're like, what you're doing is not going to work. It doesn't make sense to not bet on like the hardcore gamblers. That's where all the money is. And it's like that. It's true. Everybody's already competing for that layer of the pie. But the interesting thing is meeting people here and here and here and here. And if you meet everybody where they are, your hardcore sports betting fan is going to want to play with all their friends and not all their friends.
One's a consequence of the other.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It's
Yeah.
it's you know this it's really exciting for me to see like people genuinely. I've had it. I became a fan of two different sports during this last year just by using Bracky. Like
F1.
legitimate fan
I'm
of F1
assuming. Yeah.
and European football, like specifically
Yeah.
like English Premier League is amazing, right? And you hear about these things and you see that like, oh, this person's obsessed with, Arsenal or Chelsea. You know that, but you don't have any experience of like what's so magical about that league.
Yeah.
This gets you into that, and it's like these are amazing. It's like they're just whole worlds there, and
Yeah.
it's really exciting to see people. I'm doing it, and just like how fun it is to find a new interest, a new hobby, a new hero, a new set of other people to experience it with. Like I think that's the magic, and skin in the game. It's like, how does that serve as an engine for creating those experiences, right? Like that's the way I think of it. It's not the prediction markets for its own sake. It's prediction markets for the sake of powering new experiences, right? New interests, new hobbies, new sets of people to do it with, like new memories, right? I think it's very real, and that's like the thing that's super exciting to me.
I think that some of my most fun experiences with Bracky have been things that were much smaller and wouldn't normally interest other people, but like the beer pong at FarCon.
Yes.
Like that
Totally.
was just hilarious. Like you've got this pop-up event last minute and there's a bracket and people are paying beer pong and backing the ones that they think are going to win.
100%.
Having absolutely zero information about these people's ability to do this.
Yeah.
It was just fun, and being in the room. And same thing with pickleball has been, one of the other ones at conferences. And just like
pickleball one was an amazing,
incredible. So fun. It's just so it's just
prediction market on that was like exceptionally fun. And I think figuring out how to make that a experience that is known about and available at scale is very challenging. But I think this is the thing, is like if you get more people using Bracky, the idea of putting Bracky on the family cornhole tournament makes a lot more sense, right? Like, I think there's so many, like when you reach critical,
almost these little micro markets, if you will, and 100%. Similar to but you could do that. If that option was available, it could turn into something that you do with a Twitter thread, or it could turn into something you do in a group chat. It doesn't have to be this like big, huge thing, but it could be this more smaller, tailored experience.
It's a very special. Those micro markets are a very special product. People ask for them a lot, and the reason we don't do them as much, except for just like special cases like Cast Out or Beer Pong, or like kind of pop up, is it's not that they're not super fun. It's that they are exceptionally hard to grow as the core mechanism of what you're doing. And so a lot of these choices that we make are sort of like not always about, like, the micro markets are super fun, but focusing on events that have more people who are familiar with them, that have a longer time horizon, is like a better way to include a first user. And so like what I'm really excited about, the reason that to go back to the first cast that you said of like very, very, very excited about the next decade, is that the exciting thing for me is just we have so many more fun things that we want to build than we can at any given moment. And so it's like the cool thing is that Bracky is going to have momentum. It's a scale, because it's AI and because it's in every network. It has momentum, which I think of as momentum is the phenomenon of when you get more resources, it makes you more likely to get even more resources in the future. So it's like, it's that snowball rolling down a hill. And the cool thing for us is that the resource is the more users that are using in more places and have familiarity, the more that micro markets are viable, like to fund, and the more that people have enough familiarity that they can start that themselves on their beer pong tournament, right?
Yeah.
That's super hard for us to do as a direct product, but if somebody's been using for a year, it's very natural. Like all of our Bracky community, it feels most natural thing in the world. For a new user, it's not, right?
Yeah.
So it's super exciting.
That might be as like a pro or max benefit or something.
Exactly. I mean, there's tons of ways to do it and stage it out. And it's like all this stuff is like very much
so many possibilities.
And it's just sort of like the sequence of doing it. But it's always like better to have the feeling of there's more stuff that we want to do rather than we don't know what we want to do. I think like I'll take the first of those of like feeling like there's more that we want to do like every day of the week.
So coming up, we do have the NFL playoffs bracket.
Yeah.
So that's going to be probably pretty big.
Yep.
Has that opened yet or?
It's not. No, we'll open it.
Okay.
We'll open at the end of this week. We're going to do another chat market. So like if in base chat. So if people want to like upgrading to max, I'll make an announcement about it again. But like max doesn't mean you pay us anything. It just means if you have 10 million Bracky in your Bracky wallet, you have unlocked max. So think of it as like if you already wanted to invest in Bracky, you hold that status and then you get some benefits in everyday play, but then you'll be able to also do that pre-mining game where you can get some free shares of NFL teams before the market opens.
So it'll be similar to this one, which is
similar to that. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna play with that experience again at the end of this week. And then of course we'll have like every game. There'll be a big bracket and then we'll have every game. And we'll be doing some rides on Twitter for the
fun
games. So, you know, we're basically going to be playing with like a lot of the experiments that we're excited about and have running. We'll be doing that around the NFL, and these games are going to be like, it's actually like a really, really good.
If you need a rider for the Patriots, I'm available. So just letting you know.
Yes. we gotta get you. We gotta
not the Jets. That was
the Jets. You don't have to worry about that.
I was forced. Yes, I know. You don't have to worry about that ever. But this has been awesome. So Tim, a few things we should be looking for is more activity on Twitter, more new surface areas like you know, your iOS chat, things like that, iMessage. Anything else that you want to shout out or that we should be on the lookout for? I'm assuming Super Bowl, we're going to have a big moment again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think as you said, that there's two big, you know, two main actions. Is if you're new, just mention Bracky and or if you want to introduce people who are new, and you mention me at the same time, and I can help kind of give you the red carpet experience there. So that's like one thing people can do if they're new. If you're already using Bracky and enjoying it, like if the pre-mining stuff sounds fun and it's in your budget to do Bracky Max, this is a good time to do that. You can play around with it. You know, you can sell out of Max later after you do it. You don't have to keep it, but like that's a thing you can do around this if you want to have like another fun experience around NFL playoffs to like go a little bit deeper. And then like when we have Bracky available in different spaces, we'll be, you know, people can connect all their socials, like their number and their Telegram. And so like if you've connected your phone number, we'll say, hey, do you want to have some free budget to do like a chat reaction group in iMessage when we release that? So like we'll be reaching out to people to say, hey, do you want to give free bets to your friends? Like we see you're an authentic, like, you know, authentic daily or weekly or monthly Bracky user. You have Telegram connected. Do you want to bring Bracky into one of your group chats? And like, we'll give some free bets to your friends there, right? So like, we'll be using the community that we have to be like spearheading the growth into their groups of friends by letting their friends have free bets in these new surface areas.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So if you are brand new to Bracky, your best bet, tag Bracky and ask it any questions. So at Bracky on Farcaster or Base app, at Bracky HQ on Twitter, and just say, how do I get started? And it will give you a whole bunch of info. And
he'll always link to the app too. So if you're more visual, you can just jump into the app and explore there and connect social, and you'll get free Bracky that you can also use in the app. So there's lots of ways to sort of hit the first experience, and you can kind of figure out the one that's good for you, and like all feedback or just including me in it to like help you get through that and figure out like how we can make it better for users going through their first experience, like would be great.
Amazing. Tim, I could talk to you for hours.
Yeah.
Will you be at ETH Denver? Is my last question for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that over half the reason that I've been not going to many conferences because they're just not except when we want to see our friends, like it's not the stage of our business where it's like useful to go to conferences. But I want to go to ETH Denver like specifically for your party. So
fantastic. All right, well that seals it. Now we have to do it. We have to do it.
It was so
definitely going to happen then.
Yeah,
it was so fun.
And I have a new song that I built, but I'll debut there for you.
Oh, I'm very okay. That seals it. That seals it. We got to make it happen. We'll have more info about that later this week. All right. Thank you, Tim. We're going to let you go. Burr and I have a couple last minute things to catch up on, but thanks so much for being here with us. We appreciate you.
You guys always.
Thank you. Bye, Tim. That was awesome. Amazing.
He's always really great to talk to.
So good to talk to. And I know you are dying a slow death over there.
Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm really.
Listening. People are like, oh, you're probably thinking like I'm really quiet, but I'm getting over a 10-day flu, so it's okay if I'm not talking.
No, you've been amazing. Like I can't even believe you're here right now, honestly. But like we've only got a couple more quick things to catch up on. But what a great chat. And so my question to you is, did you come up with a couple questions to give away the better hats?
So I was half thinking of that. My brain is like fog. I'm listening to Tim and I'm like nodding along because I will tell you the truth, as one of the first users, as he's gone through this evolution, like I'm a hardcore sports bettor, I'm a gambler, and
literally that's your profession, like your literal profession.
So at various steps of Bracky, I'd be like, oh, I don't like this, I like it back in the app, and Tim would always be very polite and like set me on the course that we are on the course of social interactions. And it wasn't until kind of like this D's thread that I got it, because I was like, no, it's another sports betting app, but it's actually not. It's so much more than a sports betting app. And I hope that if people take anything away from this, they realize that, because the world has a million sports betting apps. And to give you an idea, DraftKings, when they try to like envelop this kind of social aspect, like their extent of that is you get a notification that somebody has challenged you to a match who you're 1000% sure is better than you in daily fantasy sports. And like, that's not a great social experience. So there is like this huge void that I see him trying to fill. And now I finally get it, like a year later, and after hearing him speak so many different times about this. But it really is an experience that if you're on Farcaster, you don't have to bet a lot, you don't have to do a lot, but you will feel FOMO when these big sporting events happen and everyone's talking about Bracky, right? Whether or not you like the Super Bowl or not, on Super Bowl Sunday, people are going to be talking about it. So if you don't want to have FOMO, find out what Bracky is, start your account, and sign up and start having fun with us.
Yeah, especially because you can start for free. So why wouldn't you? Just tag Bracky and it will take it from there. All right. So should we?
Yes, of course. I was thinking about these questions, and I'm like,
so I have one. Do you want me to pop one in here?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, I'm going to pop one in here. Here we go.
And I will say that if you already purchased a better hat and you already have one, I'll give you an option. You can either get
Yeah.
this shiny better hat or you can select a minted merch hat too. People are talking about hats. I have every hat in existence because I love Cat Cartel. So if you already have the better hat, rest
I have that
assured
one
you
too,
can
over here
you can
somewhere.
collect the minted merch. But disclaimer, you are responsible for shipping if you live in one of these obscure countries. So just be on the lookout
Obscure,
for that.
like pretty much anywhere outside here.
Anywhere outside the US, you're on
All
hook
right,
for
I'm
shipping.
dropping the first question, and it's going to drop into the chat right now. What team was Garrett writing for? So first person to answer that correctly will be our first winner of a better cap. So jump on there real quick. This was, remember when he said, nope, this is what Garrett was writing for. Oh, I think Mount Doji just got it. Did I get anyone before that? I don't think so. I think it was Mount Doji. Let me just make sure I didn't miss somebody above that. Somebody said Eagles. No.
I mean, technically, Aqueous was
not
right.
for-
Not Alabama was right too.
Not Alabama. Yeah, not Alabama was correct. So I think it's Mount. I mean, it's up to you if you want to pick two winners on this, because she ain't wrong.
It's true. I think she'll
But she
understand.
ain't quite right. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think we have to pick the actual winner. I think we'll have to go with Mount Doji here for the first one.
Mount Doji with the
Aqueous
win.
can get a hat for me whenever she wants it. She knows it.
Yeah. All right, and then I'll put one more question in right now, and then we'll get this knocked out. Okay. Next question. Okay. What? I know what it is. Here it comes. Okay, here it comes. How much Bracky do you need for Bracky Max? How much Bracky do you need for Max? There, and she got it. And she got it. She got it. 10 million is the answer. Aqueous gets the other hat. So there you go. Justice served.
It all works out. It always does.
Not Alabama answer. Amazing. All right. So we got that done. I'm glad we got that done. I hope you wrote those down. Mount Doji, MTDOJI, and Aqueous are your winners. Amazing. And let me just do one last thing. We've got one last thing to cover, and it is this. So today we did something a little different. We did, let me move this over here. We had an auction that you could bid on to get a cast featured, and we're experimenting with this with Late Night on Base. He has a new auction house mini app. So we're going to experiment with this throughout the month of January. So we did one for this episode, except you had to bid with Bracky. So we're going to be mixing it up depending on who's on our show, who our sponsors are, etc. So this was Bracky. So you needed, so the winning bid was 1.1 million Bracky from Secret Pikachu. So thank you, Secret Pikachu. We do have one more opportunity to do this week. We actually will have one for Friday as well. But for Wednesday's show, you can bid in Habs from the Haberdashery. They are a sponsor on Wednesday. And it's starting at 5 million Habs, which is around $20-ish. And you can become a guest curator for Wednesday's show. So what that means, if you're a guest curator, you choose a cast for us to highlight. We share it on that episode. We also give you a shout out, and that can highlight your mini app, your art, your project, or just something you want us to chat about. You're like, hey, I think this is interesting. I want to hear them talk about creator coins again. Just kidding.
Nobody wants that.
That might be,
just kidding.
Yeah, that might actually, the last note here might apply to that. We reserve editorial approval of the cast. mostly that's just not, not safe for work adult content. We're not going to show. So we had Secret Pikachu is the one who won this, and so fun. They have a new project called Super Chiblings, and it's a Chib blind box collectible. Only a limited number available. You can use Super Chib for $3 off. If you do not know Secret Pikachu, I have known Secret Pikachu since 2021, like the end of 2021, through one of the first projects I was involved with called Poapathon. And they were one of the artists who would participate in a lot of different contests and things there. And they've now created this super cute collection of these are really cute collectibles that you can order, all based on mintable things and digital games that they've created. And you can order this. They did not have the link in this cast, so I did add it to, I think it's their top. Oh, there it is. She added it. Good. It's available on Node Merch, that was exciting to see. So that's Q's site. So it's available on Node Merch, and you can order it with crypto, whatever. Really cute. Go check it out. Secret Pikachu is very into Wassies, has been very involved in the Wassie community. Great artist, and there's a cute little video. It's a little long for our purposes today, but if you go to Secret Pikachu's profile, you'll see it there, and we'll include the link in the show notes. So thank you, Secret Pikachu, or Pika, as I like to call you. Thank you for bidding, and we're very excited that you won. So that was fun. That was so fun to see them win that, because I've just known them for so long. I was like, this is so exciting. So I was like very happy to share their latest project. And I'm like, this is like a perfect moment, like a perfect person to win the auction. So I was very excited about that. So get your habs ready if you want to bid on Wednesdays. It is open, and you'll find it in the GM Farcaster channel. All right. Anything else, Burr? It's been a lot. It's been a long one.
I
think we did it. I knew Tim, I always end up chatting very long time with Tim. He's just fun to chat with. So I had a feeling this was going to go that part was going to go a little long. So thank you all for hanging with us. We really appreciate it. And we will see you soon. And we'll see you Wednesday. My guest co-host on Wednesday is Rachel W. from Good News and Creator-Fi. She has a new project called Creator-Fi, so we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll be on at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So, Burr, you'll be asleep. You can see it after.
I'm asleep. I will check it out, though.
But thank you so much for co-hosting today. And then Adrian will be back with me Friday. So thanks, everyone, for hanging with us. We will see you on the timeline. And until then... Thanks for joining us for this episode of GM Farcaster. And thank you to all our partners and HyperSub supporters bringing this episode to you. Follow the GM Farcaster channel for all the latest updates, and add our mini app on Farcaster and the base app. Until next time, bye-bye.